So kind of interesting over there is they're really polite. Whenever you are like going on transit or even in the grocery store, they are like really polite. Like they are not loud and boisterous people like in those settings at all. When you're on the train, it's super quiet. Or when you're in the grocery store, you don't hear like people crying or kids crying. You don't hear a lot of things going on. It's just that people tend to themselves. Like if you actually go on the street and you say, hey, how's it going? Like as like for Americans, we can just do that and then we go off on our way. But for them, like they'll actually stop and tell you like how their day actually was, and they'll tell you the absolute truth. So like my day was actually pretty crappy. And so like it's surprising because they actually want, if you're gonna ask the question, you actually need to sit and listen to them. So I thought that was really interesting. They're also like one of the most honest people. Like you could go anywhere there and I don't feel any fear. Like I could walk there in the middle of the night and not feel scared. I've heard and I've seen some missionaries in my church, they lost their wallet while they were riding their bike, and they were able to go and find it from the police station. I mean, if you're just probably give out like 10 different wallets on the ground, they would all be returned. It's just something, they don't take something that's not theirs. Or if they see like I saw so many times where there's like gloves, missing gloves, but they'd always put it like high up so that someone could see it, so that they can come back to retrieve it. So they're kind of just interesting people, but they're just a really genuine people, and they're kind of like shy at first, but once you get to know them, they just like become your best friends, and they're really reliable. From a young age, they start learning more than one language, and they're just super smart. And then they have like continuous education, and all their education is free. So if you go there, and even those that are not even from Finland can go and get a university education for free. It's just getting there that is the hard part. But they have like continual education, and they are just so smart, and most of them know at least 3 to 4, even 5 languages. Is like not an uncommon thing to see with that. They're also like, when they decide to do something, they're usually pretty determined to do that thing. They have this word called sisu, and that kind of, it just means like, it's kind of there's a lot of meaning with it, but like they have like a lot of strength and vigor, and they had to endure a lot like during the wars, and it took a lot of like sisu to like get through it, and they overcame the Russians because of how like courageous they were and how strong, and like I don't know, they're amazing people, and they're kind of a secret to the world really, because they're just like this little country that they're not Scandinavian, they're of their own people, because their language is just like so different from all the other Scandinavian countries, so they kind of get overlooked. But they're an amazing people. I know I still have friendships that have lasted all these years, which I know would probably not have happened if it were like from another country, because they stay your friend and they love on you once you get to know, although they are a little bit harder to get to know. Like they're kind of private and quiet, but once you like get into their hearts, they're with you forever.